Hey guys, in today's video, we'll be taking a look at Lothur Grooming's Samber, coming right up. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host John, and I've got a brand new shave for you today. We'll be taking a look at a few items, but primarily focusing on this soap set that isn't brand new. This probably came out around the springtime. However, I just didn't get around to it. And when I sniffed it off the tub, it smelled great. Actually, a lot of people had recommended this one to me, but I thought it would be better suited for cooler weather, like the fall, which is right now when I'm recording this. So the soap in question is Lothur Grooming's Samber, and I have both the soap here and the matching splash. I picked these two up from the razor company. I picked up both the soap and the splash for $23 each at the razor company. That price point puts it around probably the higher end of artisan shave software. It's in good company at that price point. Personally, I don't find it unreasonable, but I don't want to dive too far into is it worth it for X amount of dollars, because that, no matter what hobby you're into, that is such a subjective thing. So just putting the price out there, let's take a sniff off the tub. As you can see, Samber comes in the same matte black finish, minimalist design. Some love it, some hate it. I do like me some minimalist design, so this is all good. It is a very dark, almost like a chocolatey brownie color here. And the scent, this is really a wonderful scent. It is cologne-y, perfume-like, it's complex, it's warm and inviting. Something you might use for a nice dinner or an outing with a loved one. So yeah, it's been a while. Like I said, I got this back in the spring, but a really intoxicating scent that I just keep on going back and sniffing off the tub. But before we get into the shave, let me show you what else we're gonna use today. First up for the razor, we're gonna go with the Henson Al13 Aggressive. That's triple plus for those of you who know the naming convention for Henson. This one I originally got as a group order through the Lothur Talk podcast. It has since become available more widely at two vendors, at both the Razor Company and at Shave Nation. So really good to see. I did not know this was happening, but if our group buy had anything to do with having this razor more available on the market, then, you know, mission accomplished. Guys, we did it. So definitely want to use this razor and just follow up, letting people know if you missed out on the group buy, hey, it's out there. It's out in the wild. Go get it if it's something you're interested in. And as for the blade, I've loaded it up with a Gillette Nasset. And last but not least, for the shave brush, you've seen me unbox this and I haven't used it yet on the channel. So today we are fixing that. It is from Lancaster Razor Works. This is the Black Pearl. It was a special quasi-custom done for me by Lancaster. Good friend of the channel. Knew him way before we did this whole YouTube thing, and he was kind enough to make me one of these after I expressed interest seeing Chris Cullen from Katie's Bubbles have one. And funny enough, Gerard from Lothur Talk as well has one in a slightly different shape. So we're all brush buddies, I guess. But as far as knot goes, I have a 26mm G5C synthetic knot here. One of my favorites, one that you can get from AP Shave Co. Yeah, the G5C is easily one of my favorite knots you can get if you like setting your own knots. It is super dense. It's a little tricky to set. I don't want to get too far into the weeds, but basically you want to have minimal loft. So you want to have it as close to the top of the ferrule as possible. Otherwise, if it's too far in, it's going to have way too much backbone and be really hard to use. Unless that is exactly what you're looking for, a dense brush that's hard to splay. But otherwise, you want to set this typically as high as possible without the actual bottom of the knot showing. Alright guys, let's get into the scent notes of Samber. We have amber accord, incense, sandalwood accord, patchouli, and spice notes. Now, I mentioned before at the intro that this has a cologne or perfumey kind of vibe. There's a good chance that this was inspired by an existing fragrance. It does smell vaguely familiar, and like I said, it's a really nice scent, something that kind of invites you to come back for more once you smell it. Some words I'd use to describe the scent are warm, sweet, seductive, and masculine. I really do picture a guy who knows how to dress himself, who knows men's fashion, but is very classic at the same time. And as far as other shaving scents go, nothing comes to mind that is really all that similar. But I would say this is a unique offering, and I'm really liking it. All right, so we're done with the first pass, and let's talk a little bit about the performance of the soap. The Lothur soap base is among the best I've used. I put it firmly in my S tier of shave soaps. And as for the razor, I do have a full-on review, separate video of the Henson Aggressive, which I can link up there and in the description below. But just in short, even as aggressive, it's still a fairly mild razor, and I think fairly intuitive to use. You're not going to hurt yourself with it, and the way that the top cap is designed, it does want a specific angle. It's not a razor with a whole lot of blade feel, so if you like a mild razor with some moderate efficiency, it's a good razor. The other thing definitely worth mentioning is it is an aluminum razor, and that dictates the weight. It's a very light weight, which might be good. I've had plenty of viewers mention if they have arthritis and have a hard time gripping on heavy razors, aluminum is a wonderful material to get your razor in if you deal with that, or you just prefer a lighter razor. Alright, so great shave. Let's sum up things with Samber here. The soap, I really do love the scent, and there is a little bit difference between the soap and the aftershave. Difference meaning I get more of the incense in the splash itself. So that came out much more when I applied that. The soap also, one thing I didn't mention as far as have impressions of what I got, there's a little bit of a kind of a nice dark chocolatey kind of vibe I get when I was shaving with it. So that's great. It's very different. Now, one thing to note though that came up with in both application of the splash and probably by my second pass is I do feel some light tingling on the skin, and I do think it's from maybe some mild fragrance reaction, which can happen, especially when I see spice notes or cinnamon in particular. I know that sometimes can give me a little bit of a warm or tingling sensation. It's not overly strong, but I definitely want to mention that because I know some people do get some really bad fragrance reactions. So do watch out with this one. But if you couldn't tell already by the way that I was describing the scent, it is a really, really nice scent. It kind of ticks off all the boxes for me as far as being a date night fragrance or a cool weather fragrance. I think in like high humid summer heat, which I definitely had plenty of that, this would be too much. It would probably choke either yourself out or those around you. But with a little bit of coldness in the temperature, that's its sweet spot for me. So Samber, really great offering. As far as the razor goes, the Henson, I gave a little bit of recap. One other thing is with the lighter razors, guys, just a word of warning, you will probably be tempted to press down with more strength than normal, especially if you've never used a aluminum razor. That is the temptation, but try your best not to apply too much pressure, and I think you'll have a really good time. Now don't forget, if you use Samber, I just want to hear your thoughts and opinions on it, or any other scent from Lothur Grooming. I know they've had plenty of collaborations with the razor company. They've been very regular with releases. What have some of your favorites been? Let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, that'll do it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking some time out of your busy day, joining me for this shave. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll catch you next time. Take care. What's up, guys? In today's shave, we'll be taking a look at Lothur Grooming's We'll be taking a look at Lothur Grooming's Samber. Samber? Samber, dang it.